Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about the MAC Studio Fix Fluid, which is the Studio Fix foundation from MAC, which is quite popular. So the foundation comes in this glass bottle with a rubbery cap on the top, and when you open it, you'll be very sad to see that this doesn't have a pump. It would have been great if this foundation came with a pump, but if you want the pump, you'll have to invest in the pump separately from MAC, which is a bummer. I wish the pump came along with the foundation bottle itself. So each bottle contains 30 ml of product, which is a standard foundation quantity, and this foundation has SPF of 15. So if you're wearing this foundation during the daytime, this may not be enough, so you will have to use your own sunscreen underneath the foundation to protect your skin from the sun. So currently this foundation retails for 2,900 rupees, which is quite steep, but since it's a high-end foundation, it is going to be expensive. But MAC has been hiking up their prices of all of their products quite frequently. I think when I bought the MAC Studio Fix Fluid back in the day, it was about 2,400 or 500, something like that, but now it's 2,900 rupees. For the longest time I was using the shade NC45, which is kind of a close match on my complexion, but it's not an exact match. It's slightly lighter than my complexion. But then MAC Cosmetics sent out their Studio Fix foundation in the shade NC46 a few weeks back, and I found this shade to be an exact match for me because it becomes quite invisible as I apply the foundation onto my skin. I'll quickly show you a demo of this foundation with a sponge on this side and a buffing brush on this side. So continue watching. So that's the foundation bottle, and this is the shade NC46. MAC had sent this shade out to me, and this is a much better match on me. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of the foundation on my fingertip. So I'm just gonna dot it on one side of my face. I'm gonna take a beauty blender to blend this side. So I'm just gonna tap the beauty blender gently on top of the foundation. Since this is a matte foundation, you'll have to work this in sections. Otherwise this will dry up and it will be very difficult for you to blend it out. I'm also applying a little bit of that on the dark circles since this foundation shade is a very close match on me. This will also help in counteracting the darkness under the eyes. So that's how a very light and one layer of the Studio Fix foundation looks like. And since I have used a sponge to blend this side, obviously it's going to be more sheer. So I'm going to take more of the foundation and do a second layer. So that's how the second layer of foundation looks with a damp beauty blender. Now I'm going to dot the same foundation on this side, and I'm going to use a buffing brush to blend this side. So I'm taking a little bit of the foundation and do the exact same thing, just gonna dot it. I'm taking my buffing brush. This one is the PAC 231 buffing brush, and I'm gently gonna push the foundation into my skin in gentle dabbing motions. I'm being very gentle while I blend the foundation onto my skin. So that's how a single layer of foundation looks with a buffing brush. I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did on this side. So I'm going to do a second layer of foundation on the right side. I'm going to pick up my buffing brush and dab the foundation gently onto the skin and blending it thoroughly. So that's how the second layer of foundation looks with a buffing brush. Definitely the buffing brush has given me a better coverage. Can you see this side is a bit more sheer and this side has a bit more coverage. So on this side I can obviously see a little bit of my hyperpigmentation peeking through the foundation, but this side looks perfectly concealed. So a brush definitely is going to give you a better coverage. But other than that, the beauty blender as well as the buffing brush managed to blend the product really well. It's just that if you're going to use a beauty blender, the beauty blender is going to soak up a lot of product, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to quickly finish the rest of the makeup and get back to you guys. I'm back with the rest of the makeup, guys. So let's talk about the foundation more. For the longest time I was using the shade NC45, which is a very close match but not an exact match. My exact match happens to be the shade NC46. This is exactly my skin color in a bottle. Very rare to find foundation shades that match my exact skin color, but this has become one of the best matched foundations that I own. It's exactly like my skin color. That's what I absolutely love. So let me just quickly show you a hand swatch of both the shades on the back of my hand so that you'll get an idea. So I'm swatching NC46 on the top. I'm gonna take the shade NC45 and swatch it on the bottom. So that's NC45, which is the lighter shade, and this is NC46, which is the shade that I used for this video, and this is a very good match on me. NC45 is also a good match, but not an exact skin colored match. That's what I wanted to say. If I try to layer the NC45 shade a lot on my skin, if I'm going for a full coverage look, this does look a bit artificial because it's slightly lighter than my skin tone, so I have to use a lot of bronzer or contour to make it blend with the rest of my skin color. But the NC46 shade is, like I mentioned 1,000 times in this video, is a perfect match on me. So yeah, it's a very accurate match for my skin color, so I don't have to use a lot of bronzer or anything to make it work. I have been using the Studio Fix fluid for a longest time and I really like it, especially when I'm working on clients. I always pick up the MAC Studio Fix fluid because it works on all skin types. If the skin is a bit dry, I just use a luxurious, rich and very hydrating moisturizer underneath to make the foundation glide smoothly on the skin. But if you have oily skin, this is going to be perfect. It's quite mattifying and it sits well on the skin. It doesn't look cakey or anything. It just looks like a second layer of the skin, and even if you layer it up quite a bit, it's not going to look too made up. It's quite nice. This foundation lasts super long, so you don't really have to worry about any sweat or oil throughout the day. Even if your skin does oil up in between the day, you just take a small blotting paper or even a tissue paper to blot off the excess oil, and that should be good to go because it doesn't melt. Like I mentioned earlier, I have used this particular foundation on a lot of my clients, almost 95% of my clients, and none of them have complained of this foundation melting off or fading away throughout the day. They have always said that the makeup lasted really well and for really long hours. I completely trust this foundation for its longevity. It's really good. A lot of people complain about oxidization from this foundation. Yes, that's true, but the oxidization is not too drastic that your face color turns to a completely different shade after a while. It's very minimal, so it's fine, it's okay with me. So yes, it does oxidize, but it's quite minimal. This foundation looks beautiful in person as well as in pictures and flash photography. That's quite important if you're wearing this for a special occasion, because you don't want your face to look like a ghost in pictures. This foundation is really good if you're wearing it for any special occasions because it doesn't flash back. It's quite good, especially on the camera. It really wears well, and even in person this foundation looks really nice. So this is one of those foundations which looks great even in person as well as in photography. So I think yes, I have covered almost all the points that I wanted to talk about the Studio Fix Fluid. I highly recommend this foundation if you want like a special occasion foundation in your kit, or you're willing to spend a lot of money on your foundation, then you can absolutely try the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I know it's quite a task to choose the right shade for you, but make sure to go to the MAC store and test out few different shades on your cheek and your jawline so that you get an idea of what looks and feels the best on your complexion. If you're buying it online, try to go through a lot of reviews on YouTube. Try to figure out which of the shades would suit you the best and then invest in this foundation. Since it's a high-end foundation, you'll have to do your research before you pick the right shade. Even though this foundation is matte, I would absolutely recommend to all skin types. Like I mentioned, this works beautifully on all skin types. It's just that you'll have to prep your skin in the right way to wear this foundation, but other than that, this is a very good long-lasting foundation for our Indian weather especially. So yeah, I highly recommend this MAC Studio Fix Fluid to all of you. So I think that's about it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up, comment, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more such videos. I'm planning to do more of these foundation review sort of videos on my channel because a lot of you people struggle with finding your right foundation shade, especially the dusky category. I really get you. I'll try to upload a lot more videos on the different foundations that are available in India. So yeah, that's what I wanted to mention as well. So that's about it for today's video. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram. I'll put the link in the description box. And that's about it, and I shall see you guys soon in my next one. Bye.